standing by the shore. Vision thrills me as before. Love is there no more for us to share. Darling, you have left me only sorrow. Nothing seems to matter anymore. These two precious moments I can borrow, dreaming of the one I adore. Some is over. Some is over.
Hello everybody, welcome back. Psychedelic here. Ghost Riders Part 3. Hope you enjoyed that little gentle introduction video that I made. Went on a few different places here in town. I always like going on walks, especially during the fall season. And that's basically just kind of sweeping you into what we're going to get into here today. Showcasing some artists, some singer-songwriters that encompass that kind of, I don't know, lonesomeness, that bitterness, sort of bygone era of artists from the 70s that may have gotten looked over. And I'm here to talk about a few. Before we begin, now that I got your attention, it's time to pull a plug. Astral Yacht has landed, as you know. Still got many copies available through Funk Night Records, although this has been selling pretty well. And again, I'll be making a video about this one pretty soon. So thank you again for your support. You know who you are. Got a lot of viewers. Check this one out and give me some honest feedback. I'd like to hear what you have to say about it. I'll be sharing more thoughts on this. I'll probably be the next video. So, also, hopefully it's not too noisy. I have a fan running, and I actually got this fan from my mom's house. She was a fan of fans, let me tell you. She had like probably up to 10 fans like in the basement, not being used. And it's like, I'm gonna definitely take one of those now that she is no longer with us. You know, I just figured I do need an extra fan around, but didn't realize it was gonna be this noisy. I think we're gonna be okay though. Anyways, let's kick things off. So we talked about this artist maybe in the first video. I forget now, since it was so many months ago. So we're kind of kicking back around to this artist, Dean Davis. I think this is his third and final effort with the Dean Davis Company. This is Winterwood. Came out in the early 70s. I want to say like 70 or 71 maybe even a little later, 74. This is when he had gotten married, and he was originally from the Denver, Colorado area, and he relocated to Kearney, Nebraska. he had his management company there. And this is a lot more stripped down, very somber, very subtle in nature. There's not a whole lot of upbeat tempoed tracks from what I recall. And this is probably maybe my least favorite of what he put out. I know there's the one called Maria, Dean Davis Company. I got the second one, and then this one. There might be one more I'm missing. But yeah, Winterwood, love that illustration. It just shows you how primitive and DIY the whole record is. I mean, they just kind of slapped this. It's kind of peeling on the bottom here, but slap that over the white plain sleeve, and probably press maybe 300 to 500 of these, I would assume. You got 6 strings, 12-string guitar, basically a trio at this point. They do a lot of cover variations. Mr. Bojangles, of course. The big track off here, The Pirates of Stone County Road. It's a John Stewart track. I do prefer, well, I don't know. I mean, they're both very good in their own variations. But the one on the Dean Davis Company record is a little more psychedelic folk in nature, and this one's a little more kind of in that same territory, but it's a little more woodsy, backwoodsy, but kind of mysterious, and has this kind of like mysterious aura about it. The way that the guitar is plugged in through this amp, it's got this really kind of haunting tone to it. So definitely worth checking out. Very elusive though, you just never see it. And I should mention too, on the Junk Jaunt video, I went to this place, Eagle Eye. What's it called? Eagle Eye Treasures? Eagle Eye Antiques in St. Paul, Nebraska. That's actually where I picked that up on the last Junk Jaunt back in 2019, as well as this one. So this is second time around. Dean Davis Company. I do believe it's the same personnel that will later go on to Winterwood. And this is kind of when they were, I think they went overseas at this time, maybe like Thailand or Vietnam, somewhere around there. And we're sort of spreading the word for peace, sort of birthed from the whole coffee house scene, and playing different college campus circuits. And this is an awesome record too, by the way. Definitely doesn't fit with the whole singer-songwriter theme we got going, but I figured I'd show it anyways. It's got some great reverb effects, all natural, raw quality that we all look for. So definitely keep an eye out for this one. I think this one is cheaper than the first one. And it comes with this photo insert with them performing on stage. So very cool. Don't know if it was around the same time they were performing. It almost looks like a later period photo. Yeah, definitely an artist to look into.
No longer the back porch anymore. And we sail, pulling for China. The pirates of Stone County Road, weathered and blown, and we stay.
For us has no end. Swift along the open door that don't seem to begin. Come with me and love me, babe. I may be back again. Meantime, I'll keep sailing down this highway in the wind.
The uploads you'll find online are probably from my channel, Cosmic Minds. I uploaded some tracks years ago. Okay, on to this one. So this is the main course here of the video. So this is an artist called James Hendricks. And it's not that James Hendricks. Songs of James Hendricks. This guy actually was born in Atkinson, Nebraska. It's way up north. And he would soon later become a school teacher out in Omaha back in like the late 50s, early 60s. And he actually married Mama Cass Elliott, of all people, for a short time. I think they were married for like 4 years. And he was also part of the Big Three, that little vocal group back in the early 60s. I think he met her or she met him at one of his concerts, something like that. And this is like, you know, you want to talk about a highlight record on this video, man, this is it. This is definitely a keeper for me. A lot of these kind of records can be kind of hokey and kind of miss the point maybe. This is very salt of the earth kind of people producing this, and it's produced by Johnny Rivers on his label through Soul City. And I'm just looking at those portraits, those Polaroid shots, or whatever you want to call them, scrapbook style, just kind of shows you the kind of life you wanted to live. It's just very ideal. And of course, love that. I don't love the Unipack, but I love that image. And you'll also find within the theme too, there's a lot of themes of like Rocky Mountains, going out to Colorado. And I've been out there. I mean, the air is just really crisp and clean. Not quite like Nebraska, but oftentimes the air quality around here could be a lot of like cow manure and just cow manure. But yeah, this is definitely one to check out, and you can pick this up for $5 all day. I would say some highlights I recall are Summer Rain, City Ways was a good one, and then Colorado Rocky Mountains, Sunshine Showers. And yeah, lyrically, I think there's some talk of like, you know, trying to make it in the city. Again, rolling along with a lot of those themes with people trying to make it in the city, coming from the rural life, and I can totally understand that because I lived that for a while.
Summer rain taps at my window, west wind soft as a sweet dream. My love warm as the sunshine, sitting here by me. Baby, down the hole you're in, down the hole you're in. Everybody, it seems, is a hustler just to get an extra dollar or two. When you think that it's your turn to have it, someone's gonna step on you.
So as I said, as we're moving along with this theme, the artists I'm going to showcase are a little more less cosmic as the rest that I've shared, but definitely fit along those lines of like, again, salt of the earth people, just kind of travelers, traveling by train perhaps, just kind of making it on the streets as street musicians, and just kind of showing the real humanity, just expressing a lot of their anti-war sentiments and along with the world. And this is such an artist where, and this is one such artist where he was actually a Vietnam vet coming back home, and he had brought his acoustic with him. And this is, how do you pronounce his last name? Jerry Rowe? I don't know. But it's signed here. It says, "To Sally, hope you enjoy this as much as I enjoyed making it." And honestly, I kind of forget where I bought this from. I feel like it was this year I picked it up, but I could not tell you where I picked it up from. It's on Train on the Island label. And a pretty clean disc. Don't know if I'm going to keep this one, but I wish it were a little better than it is. But the Moments that does have pedal steel guitar on here is pretty cool, by Mike Cass. A lot of different players on here: harmonica, harmony vocals, got the mandolin, and then you got a photo here of him performing. I guess he played across many different small towns across Minnesota, is where he's from. And again, a lot of cover variations on here: My Sweet Home, or My Sweet Wyoming Home, Streets of London, Honky Tonk Steel Wine. Is that a Roy Clark song, perhaps? And then you got some originals in here like Magic in the Mountains, Wildflower. And you got one here called Cody. And then here on the back it says, "Thanks to my friends Paul and Dixie Moss of Lincoln, Nebraska for turning me on to this one." So I would imagine maybe even toured through Lincoln. Who knows? Well, very cool. This is like 1978. Again, just very much with the same themes that we're rolling with. Just kind of taking in life as it hits you. Make it through the struggles of life and being a starving musician. And of course, at this time, it's just a lot of outward expression from the heart and a lot more genuine writing than, say what we get these days from a lot of the mainstream commercial artists. So I'm just kind of here to highlight the Minnesota minstrel.
The entrance fees that took my dough, the taverns took my time, and I'm headed home to the sweet Wyoming home. Watch the moon smiling in the sky from a tomb, a prairie lullaby by peaceful wind.
We got two more here. This is kind of cool. So I'd found this maybe 2-3 years ago. Again, I think I found this there was a place here in Lincoln called the Game Room. Used to have several LPs. A lot of them were kind of junk, but I came out with some cool 45s. And then I just, for some reason, took a chance on this. This is David Liska. I think this came out in 76, perhaps. I think online it said 76. Starting all over again. And yeah, got, again, a lot of different players on here. You got dobro, piano, drums. The cool addition with this one is a mellotron done by Mike Reynolds. They spell it mellotron. And you got, acoustic, you got the fiddle. This one's a little bit of a variety. You got your upbeat tracks as well as your kind of softer ballads. Definitely some loner western kind of vibes. And I love that illustration, the inclusion of the mellotron with the pedal steel, you wouldn't think that would work, but somehow it does. It lands, and it's really cool hearing a mellotron string effect happening over top pedal steel. And, not the cleanest copy. I just picked this up just because I was curious, but it's just been sitting in my blue tote full of miscellaneous. I have a whole tote full of that stuff. But you got tracks like Gold Watch and Chain, which I'll leave a sample of. You got Long Way to New York, Appaloosa, Hickory Sun, Kentucky Wind. What was my other favorite? I forget, but I think it opens side 2, right? Or it's the second track. Long Way to New York City. Was that the one? Maybe. Maybe I'm confusing the sides. I don't know, but yeah, I'll leave you some samples so you can take a listen, see for yourself. And a lot of these LPs I'm showing as well, outside of the Dean Davis related ones, you can pick up for practically nothing. So I'm thinking of Crazy Jimmy's vinyl. Crazy Jimmy out there, maybe he would dig into some of these sounds.
Everything at home, except my gold watch and chain. Oh, how I tried to put it all in the past. I tried so hard to get over you.
And then we're going to conclude with another local artist. This is one where I think I may have spotted this 1 or 2 other times. I think I picked this up at a garage sale maybe a couple years ago. Yeah. And I just never really spun it very much. This is kind of my least favorite of the bunch, but it's still kind of a cool item to have just for its DIY, the locality of it. And this is John Walker, Doctor's Smooth Country Blues. I do believe this came out late 70s, maybe early 80s. I'm not real sure. Yeah, so you got illustrated portrait there. As you can tell just by its presentation, very DIY, very much something that probably got passed out to different gigs around different taverns and stuff. And he was definitely one local that traveled around to the Zoo Bar and Howard Street Tavern, like in Omaha. And yeah, got a lot of players here as well. Drums, piano, brushes, mandolin, fiddle, basically all the same instruments. This one though, it's kind of interesting. I mean, there's like one track they have drums on, and a lot of this is pretty subtle, very low key, baritone voice, kind of country blues, essentially. And yeah, I don't know, it's a little too bluesy for my taste, but doesn't have as much affection or say that kind of lonersome vibe that we're looking for. But just thought I'd highlight this because it kind of does fit within, again, the kind of idea of the lost singer-songwriter, kind of showing off his art. And it does sound like this guy was kind of a big deal in Lincoln back in the day, considering he was always hosted on these radio shows and just got around quite a bit in town. So just to name some different song titles: The Terrible Operation Blues. The track we're going to highlight is called Wrong Side of the Road. Yeah, a lot of songs about trouble and turn your money green. Lots of songs about struggle and heartbreak, and that's kind of where their art shines in a lot of ways. And this got recorded at Dick Spencer's studio at Century Recording. It's the same guy that recorded that Sound Expedition single. Sorry that it doesn't turn up as well.
Even if I try, some people just pass me by. I don't understand what goes on in their head. When just to make a little money or to do something funny, they'll try to con you any way that they can. He would walk around looking for a way to find tomorrow in today. They say they're born on the wrong side of the road. Sometimes they must wonder if that man, he was right.
You think it'd go for a little more online, but I think it's selling on Discogs for $10 or so. So, although you're probably thinking to yourself, why is Derek showing off these rustic, rural singer-songwriter types? And I think a lot of it has to do with my friend kind of turning me on to like later Bird stuff and Burrito Brothers. Even though I've known about that stuff for a long time, it's just kind of more on the forefront right now, and kind of what ideas he has, because he's got a slide and he likes to play the 12 string, and it's kind of opening me up to different styles of music and just opening up. Not necessarily something I'm gonna collect all the time, but it's just something that piqued my interest a little bit, just trying to find those singer-songwriters that tried to make it back in the day. And that's merely what this video is about. It's not necessarily anything in the traditional sense of psychedelic or a lot of trippiness, but there's something about rural Nebraska and the vastness, the desolateness that kind of piques my interest a little bit, and that's kind of where we're rolling with this theme. There's something very cosmic about that, in a sense, that I'm just vibing with the last couple years, I would say. So with that said, let me know what you think of these artists, what you think of the samples, what you think of the whole Ghostwriters theme. I don't know if I can carry the torch much longer with this, because it's not necessarily on the top of my radar. It's something I've kind of spread out, across the different months this year, and just highlighting these records. Anyways, that's all I got to share. We'll see if part 4 happens. I got a lot more ideas cooking. Got a lot of stuff to share that I found locally. The record show happened recently. And I also got a couple other themes in mind. Don't know if we'll get to them this year or not, but I got kind of a funny tongue-in-cheek idea, but also very interesting and engaging kind of idea. So Ghostwriters lives on. So thanks for watching. See you down the trail, partner.